and welcome to the April edition of Rowlett on the Water on the Move. I'm Todd Gottel.
And I'm Lynda.
This show is produced entirely by city staff and can be seen on Rowlett's own television network, RTN 16. You know, you can find us, Lynda, all day long on RTN 16. So if you decide there's others that don't have anything else better to do, you can tune us in. We're available 4 times a day.
And I'm here to tell you, sometimes we're the best thing on television.
And for some reason, if your television's not working, you can also go to your internet and look at the YouTube channel, which is Rowlett, Texas Video. Or you can find us on our streaming page at rowlett.com.
You know, and I am delighted by how many people actually watch. You know, when I'm out and about throughout town, people always comment on watching the program, and I'm delighted that the information that we offer is something that is of interest to the community. And I joke, you know, there are 500 channels of television, and sometimes I have trouble finding things to watch. So I find myself on RTN 16 seeing what we're doing.
While watching yourself?
No, I don't watch myself, but it's interesting what information is available on RTN 16 to remind me of the great things we have going on.
On a personal note, though, I can't watch myself. It's very painful. I'm like, I don't know how anybody else does either. So they tell me don't quit your day job. That's what they say.
Well, I think that's probably the safe thing for both of us, but it's not intended to be a vocation, just an informational segment here.
Well, guess what, Lynda?
What's that?
It's April.
Yes, it is.
And you know what that means?
What?
Well, do you have it?
What?
Do you have it?
Do I have what, Todd?
You know, that illness. The illness that strikes all of us when the weather gets warm. All right. How about this? How about spring? Does that help?
Spring fever.
Absolutely. And you know what was interesting? I read this segment, we were going through this, and I thought the first thing I read when I saw this, do you have trouble focusing at work? I said, hey, this is me altogether. I was not going to pay attention to this segment.
No offense to you, sir. That takes care of spring, but what about summer, winter, and fall?
And it says, are you distracted easily? You know, do you have a strong urge to be outside? It's like, it's okay, there's this during my life now. Seriously though, you may have spring fever.
Yes, sir.
You know, after a while, you know, I work from home and also, of course, work in an office. And after a while, it's almost claustrophobic when you're in all the time. And what's really, really nice is when you have an opportunity to just get outdoors, just to be able to breathe the fresh air, feel the sun on your face, and you know that it's just spring fever. You can't wait to get outside and do things. You know, last weekend I went out and cleaned up my yard. I got a lot of that stuff ready, and I was just so happy to get out of the house and do something.
And I think it's probably even stronger when you don't have the kind of winter that we had, because we've had a mild winter and now it's warming up where it's not chilly. You don't really need a jacket, and you really do want to be outside.
That's
and it is tough when you're sitting in an office and you're having a gorgeous day and you think, can we move my desk out in the middle of the parking lot?
Well, even better than that, you know what's really cool about spring fever is you can actually cure that right here in Rowlett.
Yes, you can.
You don't have to go anywhere. So it's sort of like a what it's called, staycations.
That it is, and we have a number of cures for spring fever.
Well, this month we're on the show, we're going to be bringing up several cures for spring fever.
Yep.
So I'm anxious to, let's talk about those.
Okay, so what's the first cure you would recommend for spring fever?
All right. What am I doing?
I think we're
making a fool of myself?
I think we're going kayaking there.
Right. Kayaking it is. Thank you. Thank you for bailing me out. People are watching this going, is this guy nuts or what? There's something wrong with him. Must have some physical impairment or something. But did you know that on weekends you can rent kayaks at Paddle Point Park? You know, every time I drive across that bridge on Miller Road, it is absolutely amazing. You know, we redid kayak, or of course, Paddle Point Park.
Yes.
And ever since then, we see kayaks and canoes out there on a regular basis. Now, you may ask, where's kayak or where's Paddle Point Park so I can go get a kayak? Well, it's a 6600 Miller Road. It's a 1.4 acre park, and they features canoes, kayaks, and even John boat like launch area.
That's right. And the Kayak Instruction Incorporated offers a kayaking program at the park, as well as year-round kayaking lessons and rentals. To get details on rental fees and classes, visit their website at kayakinstruct.com.
Sorry, I can't help it. As far as spring fever, I'm excited.
We can very clearly see you have spring fever, Mayor.
Now, Drew, if he's really clever, he'll put me a little paddle boat in the back.
Oh, be careful what you wish for, Mayor.
But but there are a lot of you that also have canoes. So if you don't have, what's really cool is you can go rent a canoe, because I don't have the physical capability of towing a canoe on my car, but you can rent that canoe if you want. But if you already have a canoe or a kayak, it's also free.
That's right.
And there's no reservation needed. You go to the park, you can park there. All the features are first come, first serve. The paddling trail is 6.4 miles long. Yep. Really is nice. And that cove that it's in is just really outstanding. It is very, very calm, because typically parts of Lake Ray Hubbard, because having had a boat, you go into some of those areas and you just would not, without a larger boat, you just don't want to go out there. But this is very, very calm. 6.4 acres long, the trail. You can enjoy beautiful scenery along Lake Ray Hubbard, views of the great blue herons, bald eagles, and other wildlife. And so I say, bring your binoculars, a little portable camera, just make sure it doesn't get wet. But it really does make a really family-friendly afternoon. It does. And so for more information and directions to Paddle Point Park, that's at 6600, well, that's on Miller Road. You can visit ROWLETT.com. Well, do you want something a little more relaxing as a cure for spring fever? Sure. Okay, well, let's take a walk on one of Rowlett's many trails. Now, I don't relax very well. No, you don't. Okay, but if it requires walking or running on the trail, we're probably in good shape. I would say so. So what trail is that? Well, that's Pecan Grove Park at the trail, which is located behind the Rowlett Community Center. This park offers a 1-mile walking trail that's designated as an official walking trail by the American Heart Association. The trail offers abundant opportunities to view birds and other wildlife as it winds through the beautiful pecan grove. And the great thing about this park, and you and I talk about this when it gets super duper hot, is the shade. It is nice. I've been back there myself, and it really, really is nice. Whether you're walking or jogging or running, the trail itself is paved. It's really wide. And it just has some terrific, terrific views on there. It's not your typical running where you're running along traffic. And it's amazing when you're back there. You hear the birds chirping, and you almost think, where am I? That's right. And you're not that far from the community center, so it's really cool. Well, if you're on the trail and you veer right at the fork, and the walking trail will take you near the historic Coyle House, which has undergone extensive renovations. And the Rowlett Parks and Recreation offers over 600 acres of parkland. Much of it has walking trails. Yeah, absolutely amazing. And our Parks Division has a year-round responsibility for all the daily operations of the parks, which means that we have ground maintenance and all the operational support for the recreational activities and special events. Right. Those guys do a terrific job. They really do. So they make sure that your experience at any of the parks is an excellent one. That's right. And so regardless of the park you choose, but the Trail of Pecan Grove Park, is just terrific. That's just a really nice way. Well, how about another one? Well, we've kayaked. Okay. And we've walked on the trails. How about? Are we going to go fishing? We do. We can go fishing. Well, tell me about it. Well, what's really cool is you get your kids out there. And a lot of times you think, what can I do with my children? And, I remember going fishing with my grandfather. It's probably a bad story to share with everybody, but I will. And we used to get up at like the crack of dawn, because if you didn't get up at the crack of dawn, you didn't get the parking spot, and you had to go down to the creek, which was raging, and you had to wear those stupid boots up to here, and it was, what I'm talking about, it was really bad. The waders. Yeah, it took me years of therapy to get out of that one, but hey, whatever. So having said that, can I lay down for a second? All right, but let's talk about the Kid Fish program. What's really cool in Rowlett is we have these really nice ponds. And not only are they really well maintained, but they're stocked. There's plenty of parking. You can take your kids out there, and it really is a nice time for what I call kid fish. And the Rowlett Parks and Recreation is proud to announce again as a partner with Texas Junior Anglers hosting Kid Fish. And Kid Fish is really cool because whether you're a mother or a grandmother or grandfather or a friend or your father going out there, you can take the kids out there to go. And the community park will generously be stocked with 500 pounds of adult catfish. Think about it, 500 pounds, that's a lot of catfish. Okay, prior to the event, and prizes and trophies will be awarded to winners in 3 different age divisions. We've got some really cool parks with ponds, but this Kid Fish event over at the community park is really outstanding. It's a great way to take the kids out and have a really nice time. Trophies will be awarded to the winners in the 3 different age divisions. Yes, and it's going to be when? Saturday. What Saturday? April 20th. Sorry, got distracted. So Saturday, April 20th from 9 a.m. to noon, and best of all, it's free. You know, one of
Your
the
favorite
strategies,
kind of event.
it is. It really is. I say bring your family, not your checkbook. And that's really Rowlett is all about. You want to go and have a good time and not have to spend an enormous amount of money to do it. And really that park is just an outstanding place to do it. And the fact that you have all those catfish stock there, again, you can bring your kids out there. It's relaxing, it's clean, and it's well maintained. You know, overall the whole park is well maintained, and I think you'll have a great time.
Okay, so what's the next one?
Oh, sorry. Oops, 4? How about that?
Oh, I think it's safe to say Waterview Golf Course. We're not playing baseball, we're playing golf.
Yeah. Don't quit my day job again. So, go ahead.
Did you know that the Rowlett is home to one of the top 10 courses in the Dallas area, according to Avid Golfer magazine? The 18-hole Waterview course at the Waterview Golf Club facility in Rowlett features 7,191 yards of golf. Waterview Golf Club offers discounted rates for the City of Rowlett residents every day, and they also have senior rates and twilight rates during the work week. For tee time reservations and more information, please call Waterview Golf Club at 972-463-8900.
And that is a beautiful course. I've been out there many, many times. It's just really well maintained. And I hear from people that don't live in Rowlett that I work with or that I encounter that talk about the quality of the golf course. They have done an outstanding job. And it's a great place just to host an event if you're interested as well.
I would agree.
So.
Now, do I need to duck for this next one?
Here we go.
I'm feeling kind of threatened. So the next
Are you my wing person? How about that? Is that a good hint?
If I can stay in the seat in the plane, I'm good.
I don't think we're going to win an Emmy for this show, but that's okay. I'm not interested.
All right. So the next cure for spring fever is?
The Rowlett Flying Field.
Okay.
We have a beautiful flying field in Rowlett. The Lakes of Springfield Park is home to Rowlett's radio-controlled airplane flying field, where hobbyists of all ages gather to fly all manner of aircraft.
And I'd be willing to bet a lot of folks in Rowlett don't even know we have this.
No, it really is a jewel. Mm-hmm. It's very much a very you know, I guess well-kept secret for a lot of those. It's right off of Dexham. Mm-hmm. There's a small road with the park that goes down to the bottom. They do a great job. The flying field actually helps maintain the park down there themselves, and they do just a terrific job. But it's a really nice, even if you don't own a plane, you have the ability to go down and park your car and sit with your kids and watch the folks go out with the small planes. They do some night flies, they do mostly early morning flies, but it's just really, really a cool place. Also, the Lakes of Springfield, you know, the club itself is called the RC Club, which is the Remote Control Flying Club, and their website is at RCClub.com. Also at Lakes of Springfield, you can enjoy a 1.7-mile bicycle and walking trail around the park's lake. So if you want to go off-road, well, there's also an unpaved walking and bike trail through the trees in Rowlett Creek. And that's pretty cool if you haven't been back there, too.
Yes,
that's also really nice. Now you do need a bike. It's something that is a little bit, well, I guess you could walk it, but it's more fun if you have a bike.
You need to be in shape if you do.
You absolutely do. Yeah, I prefer the paved trails myself, but that's okay. But this stunning park offers a great way to play baseball. There's a couple open areas to play baseball. There's 2 baseball fields or football fields. There's disc golf course and a playground and pavilion out there. Really well done again. You can see it from both sides, whether you're on 66 or Dexham. It has great visibility and lots to do there as well. But the flying field's fun.
Yes, it is. Okay, I'm really kind of scared now.
I'm going to give you a 10-second head start on this one. How about that?
I'm gonna protect myself. So what's the next secret cure for spring fever?
I told you I'll give you a 10-second head start. It's archery, basic archery.
Oh.
Come on, boy, give her a 10-second head start. Let's make some competition out here.
Oh, well, that is true. Basic archery at the RCC will give you the full experience, including basic instruction and safety. It's for ages 12 and up.
They don't let me out there very often, do they?
Probably not. This program takes you on an archery adventure with a fully trained and experienced guide to teach the basics of archery. This lesson is a 2-hour plan that teaches the basic skills of archery, safety rules rules of archery, the terminology, and bow and arrow identification and uses.
Okay, can I make one comment on that? Okay.
Please
I was
do.
only teasing about giving you a 10-second start. Safety is absolutely critical for the kids that are watching the show. We don't shoot our neighbors.
Oh,
it's
that
not
is
the
so
right
true,
thing
Mayor.
to do.
Thank
So
you for
I just want to make sure I clarify that.
Yes.
Because I know we say this is a lot of fun, but you never know, somebody go out there and say, all right, Joey, I'll give you a 10-second start. And that's not what we want at the park.
No.
That's why we have an instruction plan out there with the 2-hour plan that teaches the basic skills that you talked about of archery.
That's right.
So, and of course the safety rules, which I won't be teaching. I probably need to attend myself, but that's okay. So.
And the best part of this is all equipment will be supplied. The session is suitable for those that have no experience or those that may have shot before and need a refresher. One class is April 6th from 10 a.m. to 12 noon, and it's $15, or April 13th, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m., and it's also $15. So all very fun.
So did you have fun this morning?
Interesting spring cures for spring fever. You got me flustered, Mayor. Yes, I've had an entertaining kind of time this morning.
That concludes our program for today. It just goes blank. So that's all right.
But let's shift to something that is pretty serious, but way cool. Because this is, I think, a real wonderful recognition for the City of Rowlett that will have wonderful implications in a positive way for our citizenry.
Sure.
And what is that?
Well, we received an Upgrade Insurance Services Office Class 2 rating.
That is right. And we were at ISO, which is what Insurance Service Office stands for, an ISO rating of 3. And we've now been bumped up to 2, and that is a wonderful acknowledgement and a real honor.
Well, and the Rowlett, you know, the city itself now joins a very elite group of cities across the country sharing this rating. You know, Lynda, only 659 fire departments nationwide have an ISO Class 2 rating.
That's exactly right. That is. And an ISO Class 2 rating will help taxpayers with their insurance rate, bringing reduced homeowner premiums to Rowlett residents. And that's the exciting part of this news.
Well, this is a result of a strategic partnership between the Rowlett Fire Rescue and Public Works Departments to better serve our citizens, offering better public safety and contributing to the reduction of their insurance premiums.
You bet. And aside from the reduction in the insurance premium, the quest for a lower ISO rating enhances Rowlett's well-rounded professional fire department. Fire suppression, code enforcement, public education, training, and special teams all operate in the team mode, and the results are beneficial to the residents of Rowlett, both financially and through the services provided by the fire department.
Well, the fire department does an outstanding job, and this really is just a real testament to the folks that work in our community, you know, between the different departments and what they're able to accomplish. So congratulations.
Yes, and it also is a team effort with the Public Works Department, because our water supply has a real role to play in this rating, so it's a joint effort between the two. My favorite topic, Mayor.
Volunteers?
Yes, yes.
Well, National Volunteer Week, April 21st through 27th, 2013. Tell us about it.
Well, National Volunteer Week is about inspiring, recognizing, and encouraging people to seek out imaginative ways to engage in their community. And here in Rowlett, we do love our volunteers.
It's outstanding.
It is.
You really do. I'm amazed at these folks that show up at work. People don't realize. I really think you need to have the community dinner, but invite the volunteers, invite 56,000 to show up so they can say thank you to those folks, because if it wasn't for those folks, they contributed over $500,000 last year.
I know it. It is amazing.
Amazing.
And what I really love is the fact that our volunteer program is flexible, and you can give the time you feel is right. The city provides a wide variety of opportunity, ranging from a couple of hours to long-term assignments in most city departments and through special projects and events. The volunteer program is dedicated to citizen involvement. We're always looking for new ideas. So if you have an interest or a special talent to share, we want to talk to you. And that is so true, Mayor. We have folks that just want to give a couple of hours a week, and they have a specific skill. We have one lady that retired, and she loves working with Excel spreadsheets and working on the computer. So she comes into the Parks Department once a week. She spends 3 hours. They've got plenty of computer work that keeps her busy, and we're delighted to have her. And she's helped organize some of our resources so that we very clearly know what we've got and where we need it. We've got a number of ladies that have a job.
And you know what's really,
and they have a title, and they come to work, and I love it.
You know, the seniors that I know, the ones that I call are really with it, meaning the ones that have it all together, are the ones that continually contribute because they keep their mind fresh. And it's almost like when you stop doing that, it's when everything kind of starts shutting down a little bit. You know, the ones that stay active, the ones that go on a regular basis. I have a friend of mine that literally can run like 10 miles a day. And he absolutely amazes me, and he's in his 70s. I'd be thrilled if I could run a couple miles, and you know, and seriously, it's amazing. But between the reading and the activities and everything else, you know, he's extraordinarily active. But then there are others the same age, and you look at that and go, wow, you know, they're just. I mean, it's kind of sad to a certain extent.
Well, and on the other end of the spectrum, we have a gentleman that's a college student, and he's been volunteering with us for probably 4 or 5 years. Mm-hmm. Every Saturday he comes to the library and really has become an important part of our Saturday programming at the library, and I don't think the ladies could function without him. So it's really available for all ages. It's whatever your interest is, and if you have it, that's it. And if you have a passion for giving back, we are interested in you volunteering for your community. Just contact Denise Perring at 972-412-6192 via email, or visit the volunteer program page of rowlett.com.
And you know, I talk to a lot of seniors, you know, that are saying, well, I'm getting ready to retire. And they say, I'm not sure what I'm going to do. And the first thing I'll say is, why don't you come volunteer for stuff with the city? They go, well, I didn't know you could do that. But they can give back a few hours, but it's really about giving back. And so truly, to your point, regardless of your age, it's a great way for an opportunity just to provide some community service to your city.
You bet. And another exciting thing we've got going on is Telecommunicators Week is April 14th through 20th. And this week, the City of Rowlett recognizes the pivotal role played by our telecommunications staff. These vital members of our public safety staff utilize telephone, radios, computer, and their technical skills to provide support to law enforcement, fire services, emergency medical services, and other governmental field personnel. They are on duty 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, providing rapid access to police and fire, as well as a calm, reassuring voice to citizens in distress. They are the folks that answer the phone when you call 911.
Well, and this is so important. A lot of times we don't think about that. We talk about, you know, yeah, we've got a police and fire department, but I don't think you truly value that until you pick up the phone and you dial that magic number. And to me, it's about the entire experience. It's about the person that answers the phone, the quality of the people that we have doing that work, and then to be able to send highly trained personnel with the right equipment out to your home to be able to assist really says a lot about our city.
You betcha. And as we go into commercial, let's watch this video featuring your Rowlett telecommunications staff. Well, so when the call comes in, the 911 call comes in, or the non-emergency call, it comes in on this screen. This is our actual phone system. And if you call 911, we get what's called the ALI information, automatic location identification. And then if you're calling from a wireless phone, then it shows us where the wireless tower is, and it gives us the latitude and longitude initially of where the tower is. Eventually it gives us the latitude and longitude of the caller. We have 6 administrative lines that we can answer. We have 4 positions that we work in here, and so we have lines for each of those. So when the call comes in, we answer it here. If it's a 911 call, it plots on the map up here, and so we can see where the call is actually coming from. We have a screen where we can run criminal histories, driver's licenses, license plates, different things like that. And then as the officers, because they have computers in their cars, if they run something, it actually shows up here for us, so that if they get what's called a hit, a notification that they've got a wanted person or a stolen vehicle, we actually get that here also. What this works with AVL, or automatic vehicle location, and this is going to let us actually dispatch based on the unit that's closest to the call, as opposed to the unit that's working that entire beat.
And so this shows all the units that we've got out on the street right now, and as the map updates, we can see the units moving and where they are. When we put somebody on a call, it'll zoom in right here on this side, and then if we click on the officer, this shows us the call number that he's on, and it shows us his current status, what's the address, and then this screen right here is our actual radio system. These are the different channels that we have. We have the pagers for the fire stations, doors that we can open, and that's actually what we use to talk to the officers with. Everybody wears a headset with a little wireless puck, so we don't have cords stretching around the room if we have to get up and go to the warrant files or whatever. Yeah, we actually we monitor the cameras in the lobby and in the jail, not necessarily for us to watch everything, but as a backup for anybody else that's watching. So if the jail has something going on, we can watch the cameras, and if we need to dispatch somebody because there's a problem in the jail, then we can do it quickly because we're seeing it happening. We have regular calls that we get just every day, like alarm calls, burglaries, things like that. We get calls from people locked out of their cars, all the way up to having to provide CPR instructions to a caller while the ambulance is on the way. 200 maybe, depending. It'll depend on the time of day, the day of week, if it's a full moon or not, if it's a drinking holiday or just a regular holiday. Things get kind of quiet on like Thanksgiving and Christmas, but then you let July 4th, New Year's Eve. With the overhead lights on, it makes it too bright for us to actually be able to see the screens, and so we keep it a little bit darker in here so we can pay more attention to the screens and what's on there. We are authorized for 14 full-time dispatchers. We're working 12-hour shifts right now. We're working 2 a.m. to 2 p.m. and 2 p.m. to 2 a.m. Things that we do is called emergency medical dispatching. So what that means is if somebody calls for an ambulance, then we get the information that's needed for the ambulance personnel so that they know what they're going to, and then we also provide pre-arrival instructions to the caller before the ambulance gets there. And so what we have to do, we're following a national protocol. It is a standard protocol that's been in place for numerous years. For us to follow the protocol, we have to make sure that we verify the address and the phone number of the caller. This makes the caller think that we're not paying attention and that we're not listening to them, but we're doing this because we are following this protocol. And so once we get the name and the address, we find out what happened, and we have a list of chief complaints that we can pick from. So if somebody's having chest pains, or they're having heart problems, or they've got a traumatic injury or whatever, we choose that specific chief complaint, and then the questions that we ask are based specifically on that chief complaint. The response from EMS will depend on how these questions are answered. So that's why we go through the process of asking so many questions. I know a lot of citizens get upset because they think that we're wasting time, we're not getting somebody out there. But while we're taking this information, we have either already dispatched the ambulance or somebody else in here has dispatched the ambulance. So we're not actually holding anything up while the call is in process. And so once we get all the questions answered, then we can go into pre-scripted pre-arrival instructions. And again, these are protocols, so we have to follow them word for word. And so if somebody is not breathing, then what we do is it takes us to the instructions for CPR, or we have breathing diagnostic. If somebody says, I don't know if they're breathing or not, then we have a breathing diagnostic tool that we can use, and we can tell them what to do to determine if they're breathing effectively or not. We have a stroke diagnostic tool, an aspirin diagnostic if we need to give somebody aspirin that's having chest pains. And so we give these pre-arrival instructions while the ambulance is on the way. We can give birth instructions, childbirth instructions. I have before, and it's stressful when you're doing it, but then, you know, at the end when you hear the baby cry, it actually makes it all worth it. So it's actually pretty neat. And I've given CPR instructions to children, to adults. I've even given somebody CPR instructions for a dog. And that one is not written in our protocols. I actually had to call and get help with that one, but but the dog lived, so everything was fine.
Well, and in this next upcoming segment, we're going to have a Crime Watch tip from Officer Chad Caldwell. But before we do that, we're going to talk about the SRO Youth Teen Police Academy.
And that really is exciting because the Rowlett Police Department is pleased to announce an upcoming Youth and Teen Police Academies that will be held this summer. And the deadline for submitting your child's application is May 3rd.
Well, the goal of these academies is to create a better understanding and communication between our youth and police department, enhance the students' knowledge about law enforcement, and provide a positive interaction with the police officers while educating our community's youth. This is so important.
It really is. And the Youth Police Academy will be available for students entering 5th through 8th grade in the 2013-14 school year. And the Teen Academy will be for students entering the 9th through 12th grades.
And the programs will be available to students who live and attend the school in Rowlett and will consist of the following curriculum: SWAT, CSI, investigations, patrol, community services, negotiating, DWI, traffic, pursuit driving, range, weapon safety, of course a demonstration of weapon safety, defensive tactics, there's bicycle patrol, jail, use of force, and of course leadership.
Well, and that really, I think, is a wonderful introduction into the world of policing for our youth. Unfortunately, what they see is on TV, and that may or may not be real. It may or may not be what Rowlett is about. It may or may not be positive. So this is a wonderful opportunity for our children to interact with our police department, again, to have positive interaction, and hopefully some of the kids will be inspired to go into law enforcement, because what an honorable profession.
Well, it also teaches the kids, because I have a younger daughter, and it also teaches them not to be afraid of the police officers, to respect them but not be afraid of them, meaning that they see them at the school, and a lot of times the kids somewhat isolate them, the SROs, because they're like, well, they're just here looking for bad things. Well, they're not. They're really there to help protect the schools and help protect the kids. So
remember that the deadline to have your child's application submitted for the Summer Police Academies is May 3rd. For further details and information, contact your child's Rowlett Police Department School Resource Officer. So do not miss out on this wonderful opportunity.
So Officer Chad Caldwell's segment today, Lynda, is about the National Prescription Drug Take-Back Day. It will be held at the RCCC, which is the Community Center, on April 27th from 10 to 2, and Chad will be there to take medication from you at no cost, and you do not have to give any personal information. So here's all the details.
Hello, I'm Officer Chad Caldwell, Community Services Officer for the Rowlett Police Department. And I am proud to announce that the Rowlett Police Department is once again partnering with the Drug Enforcement Agency for the National Take Back Initiative. The National Prescription Drug Take Back Day aims to provide a safe, convenient, and responsible means of disposal, while also educating the general public about the potential for abuse of these medications. The DEA has scheduled another National Prescription Drug Take Back Day, which will take place on Saturday, April 27th, 2013 from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. This event will take place at the Rowlett Community Center, and the Rowlett Police Department will be on site to assist you as you make a difference in your community and in your environment. This will be a great opportunity for those who missed the previous events, and who have subsequently accumulated unwanted, unused prescription drugs to safely dispose of those medications. In the 4 previous take-back events, the DEA, in conjunction with state, local, and tribal law enforcement partners, have collected more than 2 million pounds of prescription medications which were removed from circulation. I personally look forward to seeing you soon, as together we continue on our quest to make Rowlett the safest city in America. So be sure to mark this date on your calendar, Saturday, April 27th from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. at the Rowlett Community Center. Until next time, stay safe, Rowlett.
Well, it's an opportunity to talk about my favorite subject.
Yes, it is.
Now, it is a necessary evil, but it's something that people just don't like, and that's construction. But we've got some good news on the construction front, don't we?
Yes, we do. Here's Jake Gilliland with our Construction Corner. He's going to update us on construction projects happening this month in the city. But if you would like to see all of the construction projects in Rowlett, present and future, just visit our website on rowlett.com under Departments. Visit the Public Works/Development tab. There you'll find a comprehensive list of all of our projects.
Preparations are being made for the upcoming installation of 2 new control valves in the Merritt Road booster station. As previously discussed, the existing control valves are aged and in need of constant monitoring and maintenance. By replacing these valves, we will free up staff to be able to tend to other pressing issues around the system. Crews have been busy removing existing components and prepping the station for paint once the new valves are here. We expect the new components to be installed and operational within the month. We are celebrating the much-awaited arrival of our new utility crane truck. The wastewater pumps in our system require annual maintenance and periodic service and need to be lifted out of place to do so. Replacing the existing 6,000-pound crane truck is the new 14,000-pound crane truck. The addition of this truck to our fleet gives us the capabilities of lifting any and all of our wastewater pumps. Previously, we were limited to approximately 85% of those and had to contract out the larger pumps. City of Rowlett utility construction crews have recently added new fire hydrants to the distribution system on Rosser Court and another at the end of Miller Heights. This will allow for more efficient flushing of the system.
Retire fire.
What does that mean?
Retire fire.
Retire fire.
That is our fire safety tip presented by Fire Marshal Brian Beckner. Did you know that Americans over the age of 65 are one of the groups at greatest risk of dying in a fire?
No, I didn't know that.
Yes.
Actually, no, I did not.
There are a number of precautionary steps older Americans can take to dramatically reduce their chances of becoming a fire casualty.
So what you're telling me, just make sure I'm kind of shocked at this statistic, but you're telling me Americans over the age of 65 are one of the groups at the greatest risk of dying in fire?
That's exactly right.
Wow, okay.
So all the more reason to pay attention. If you're over 65 or if you have a family member that's over 65, our Fire Marshal, Brian Beckner, is here with some steps you can take to prevent fires in your home in a segment called Let's Retire Fire.
The facts speak for themselves. Americans over the age of 65 are one of the groups at the greatest risk of dying in fires. On an average, more than 900 Americans aged 65 and over die in fires. People over the age of 85 die in fires at a rate 5 times higher than the rest of the population. However, there are a number of precautionary steps older Americans can take to dramatically reduce the chances of becoming a fire casualty. Understanding your risk. Why are older people at risk? Older Americans are at risk for fire death and injuries for a number of reasons. They may be less able to take a quick action necessary for an emergency. They may be on medication that affects their ability to make quick decisions. Many older Americans live alone, and when accidents happen, others may not be around to help them. What fire hazards affect older people? Cooking accidents are the leading cause of fire-related injuries for older Americans. The kitchen is one of the most active and potentially dangerous rooms in the home. The unsafe use of smoking materials and leading cause of fire deaths among older Americans. Heating equipment is responsible for a big share of fires in senior homes. Extra caution should be used with alternate heaters such as wood stove or electrical space heaters. Faulty wiring is another major cause of fires affecting the elderly. Older homes have serious wiring problems, ranging from old appliances with bad wiring to overloaded sockets. Here are a few safety tips. Kitchen fires. Most kitchen fires occur because food is left unattended on the stove or in the oven. If you must leave the kitchen while cooking, take a spoon or pot holder with you to remind you to return to the kitchen. Never cook with loose, dangling sleeves that can ignite easily. Heat cooking oils gradually and use extra caution when deep frying. If a fire breaks out in a pan, put a lid on the pan. Never throw water on a grease fire. Never use a range or stove to heat your home. When using space heaters, buy only heaters evaluated by the nationally recognized laboratories such as Underwriters Laboratory, UL. Use only the manufactured recommended fuel for each heater. Do not use electrical space heaters in the bathroom or around other wet areas. Do not dry or store objects on top of your heater. Keep combustibles away from a heat source. Smoking. Don't leave smoking materials unattended. Use safety ashtrays with wide lips. Empty all ashtrays into the toilet and other metal containers every night before going to bed. Please never smoke in bed. Finally, having a working smoke alarm dramatically increases your chances of surviving a fire. If you have any question about your smoke detector or smoke alarm working, please call me. Remember to practice a home escape plan frequently with your family. If you have any additional questions, please call me at either 972-463-3940 or send me an email at bbeckner@rowlett.com. And until next time, I'm your Fire Marshal, Brian Beckner.
This next segment is my favorite.
Yes, it is.
You know, there's all, as I always say all the time in the council meetings and on the show, there's always something going on at
the
library.
Rowlett Public Library.
That's right. That's right. Exactly right. So come celebrate National Library Week 2013, April 14th through the 20th at the Rowlett Public Library.
First sponsored in 1958, National Library Week is a national observance sponsored by the American Library Association and by local libraries across the country every year during the month of April.
And the 2013 theme for National Library Week is Communities Matter at Your Library.
Here's Mary Lynn Saxton with this month's events and dates that include the fun activities during National Library Week.
Hi, I'm Mary Lynn Saxton, Youth Services Librarian for the Rowlett Public Library, located at 3900 Main Street. April 14th through April 20th is National Library Week. Sign up for a Rowlett Public Library card and then go to the reference desk to enter a drawing for one of 3 gift baskets. The drawings will be held on Saturday, April 20th. Parents and caregivers, be sure to bring your child to one of our weekly story times on Monday, Wednesday, or Friday. The goal of Storytime is to provide an environment and an opportunity to introduce children to reading and language in a fun way. Not only does Storytime serve to spark your child's desire for good literature, it can also help stretch their attention spans, improve their listening skills, as well as introduce the library as an enjoyable place where learning is fun. Baby Storytime every Monday morning with 2 sessions, 10:30 for walking babies under 18 months of age, and 11:30 for lap-sit babies. Babies will be introduced to reading through rhymes, poems, and songs. Toddler story time is every Wednesday morning at 10:30 for children ages 18 months to 3 years of age. Toddlers will have lots of fun learning as they are introduced to letters of the alphabet and new words to build their vocabulary. Preschool story time every Friday morning at 10:30 for children 3 years of age and older. This story time helps continue your children's introduction to letters and words through stories, books, rhymes, and much more. When you're out and about, don't miss our story time at McDonald's, Highway 66 and Rowlett Road, presented on the 2nd Tuesday of the month. And Lakeview Parkway between Chisa and Dalrock, presented on the 4th Tuesday of the month. Story time begins at 10:30. Bilingual Spanish story time is Tuesday, April 16th at 10:30 a.m. in the library meeting room. It's educational fun, helps children learn both Spanish and English, and wraps up with a craft. Adult education classes such as GED and ESL are held weekly. Please sign up for classes at the reference desk. The senior computer classes in the PC lab from 8:30 to 10 a.m. on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, April 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. This month's topic is Introduction to Word and Excel. Call the library to register. Be competitive in today's job market. Learn about building your online resume in Tech Ed classes in the PC lab Tuesday, April 2nd at 6:30 p.m. and Friday, April 19th at 10:30 a.m. There are some great tween and teen programs on Saturdays at the library. Saturday, April 6th at 10:30, the movie Brave and free popcorn. Friday, April 12th is Drop Everything and Read Day. National DEAR, or Drop Everything and Read, is a special reading celebration to encourage families to make time to read together. All you need is a book and 30 minutes of family time. Saturday, April 13th at 10:30, make hats for spring in the meeting room. Saturday, April 20th at 10:30, play games at the library. April 20th at 2 p.m. is Poetry Slam for Teens. Teens, here's your chance to showcase your poetry. Read original poetry or make some bookend poetry at the library. There will not be a teen or tween program on April 27th. Volunteers are wanted. Want to help your community? Become a GED tutor, ESL teacher, or library program volunteer. Your help is needed. Apply at the reference desk. There's always something for everyone at your Rowlett Public Library. We're located across from the DART rail line at 3900 Main Street in downtown Rowlett.
The submersible pumps used in the City of Rowlett sewer lift stations require annual preventative maintenance to ensure their continued operation and service. We will follow the pump technician through the steps involved in maintaining a typical submersible wastewater pump used in our system. The electricity to the pump needs to be disconnected before service can be performed. Notice the technician switching the breaker to the off position and verifying that the power has been disconnected using a voltmeter. He will utilize the live dead live method by first testing a known good source of electricity. Next, the disconnected breaker will be tested and verified that there is no voltage present. Finally, the known good electrical source is tested again to ensure the voltmeter is operating properly. The technician will use lockout tagout to secure the breaker to prevent any accidental electric shock or injuries that may occur. After verifying the electricity is turned off and the breaker is locked and secured, the pump must be lifted out of its place in the lift station wet well. Before it's completely removed, it should be pressure washed to remove any sludge and debris that may interfere with the service. Once cleaned, it will be removed from the well and set on a flat, stable surface. Here we see the bolts connecting the motor to the volute being removed, allowing access to the impeller for inspection. The impeller will be checked for any wear or cracks that may be present. If the impeller is found to be excessively worn or damaged, the technician will replace it. Next, the motor will be laid on its side and secured with a sling or strap. It is necessary to do this in order to drain the oil which lubricates the internal moving parts of the pump. The pump is raised and a pan or bucket placed under it. The technician will carefully remove the drain and fill plugs. Care must be taken when removing these plugs as pressure may have built in the oil chamber. Note the condition of the oil as it drains from the pump. It should be a clear or milky white color. Any discolored oil would indicate the presence of water in the oil, possibly caused by a bad seal. Before the plugs can be reinstalled, the O-rings should be replaced with new ones from the supplied kit from the pump manufacturer. Only one plug will be installed at this time. The pump needs to be pressure tested to verify the integrity of the seals. The technician will install the pressure gauge and use compressed air to pressure the pump to 7 psi. He will observe the gauge for several minutes to make sure there is no pressure drop. The motor housing now needs to be removed. The bolts are removed and the housing is lifted from the pump assembly. Inside the housing are the stator, shaft, and bearings, all of which require inspection. He will check the stator for any burnt spots and the shaft for any excessive wear or damage. The bearing is checked for any damage and the presence of grease. If there is no grease, it should be added at this time. Now the technician will reinstall the motor housing and tighten the bolts. At this time, the pump can be completely reassembled. To begin, the motor assembly is lowered into the volute and the bolts are reinstalled. The technician will tighten the bolts in a star pattern to ensure everything is secured evenly, preventing excessive vibration and binding during operation. He will also raise the pump assembly and manually move the impeller to ensure that it spins freely. At this time, the lock may be removed from the breaker and it can be energized. The technician will switch the breaker to the on position and the pump assembly is lowered back into place in the wet well and proper operation is verified.
How close does a motorcycle have to be before you see it? Here or here? At an intersection, look, then look again. Think. Look twice for motorcyclists.
Is it okay to have two favorites?
I think so, Mayor.
Okay,
I do.
Not to hurt any other departments or anything, but they're all equal to my book. But
there you go.
Absolutely. But one of the other jewels in our community is our Parks and Recreation. We've got a wonderful upcoming schedule. You know, we've talked about ways to cure your spring fever in this episode. We have Rowlett Parks and Recreation Department has the cure on a daily basis.
You bet. Diane Jones is next with a list of all the activities and events for the entire family this month. And I also want to give you an upcoming tip, coming soon. The 2013 Lakeside Leisure Summer Registration Kickoff is coming. Be looking for the magazine and all of the fun things that are going to be happening on in the summer. First come, first serve. Sign up soon.
And before we turn over to Diane, that magazine is outstanding.
Isn't
it is amazing how much stuff that they have at the community center. You drive by the building. A lot of people, I'm surprised, don't even know it's there. It is an absolute jewel. You have memberships to go work out for around $12 a month for an individual. Very, very affordable. A lot less than the workout centers across, all across our city and in other areas, but this is a real jewel.
Yes,
and
it is.
Lots and lots of activities for the kids and seniors. So let's talk to Diane Jones and she'll tell us everything that's going on.
You bet.
The Park of the Month for April 2013 is Paddle Point Park, located at 6600 Miller Road. Paddle Point Park is 1.4 acres and features a canoe, kayak, and John Boat Launch area. Paddle Point is home to Kayak Instruction Inc. kayaking program. KI offers year-round kayaking lessons and rentals. Paddle Point is also home to Rowlett's own Texas Park and Wildlife paddling trail. Enjoy this 6.4-mile trail's beautiful scenery on Lake Ray Hubbard, including views of great blue herons, bald eagles, and other wildlife. No reservation are needed to use this park. All features are a first come, first serve. Looking for that somewhere fun and special to host your next outdoor gathering? Rowlett Parks and Recreation has covered pavilions at Hertford, Community, Springfield, Shorewood, and Pecan Grove parks that can be rented for mornings, evenings, or all day. Pavilions accommodate from 10 to 75 people, and each offers unique park experiences depending on the location of the pavilion. You can contact the Rowlett Community Center for additional rental information. Waterview Golf Club was transformed from a pasture into a gently rolling par 72, 7,200-yard course. Designed by the golf course architectural team of Grams and Paints International, Waterview features an exceptional championship layout and the acclaimed Nike Golf Learning Center. 5 strategically placed tees on each hole cater to all golfing abilities. Golfers will find granite yardage markers at each tee, plus more than 500 sprinkler heads along the fairways. More than 1,500 trees of 18+ varieties have been planted. Lakes and other abundant water features accompany the beautifully manicured fairways and bent grass greens. The beautiful clubhouse includes a pro shop to provide all your apparel and equipment requirements, a golfer's grill, and an outdoor tournament or special event pavilion. Nearby state-of-the-art practice facilities include a 3-hole practice course, 45-stall driving range, a chipping green, and a large putting green. Waterview Golf Club offers discount rates for City of Rowlett residents during the week and weekend, a senior rate during the week, and twilight rates throughout the week. For tee time reservations and more information, please call Waterview Golf Club at 972-463-8900. Looking for something a little different to do with your teenager? Join us for Basic Archery. This program takes you on an archery adventure with a fully trained and experienced guide to teach the basic skills of archery. The lesson is a 2-hour plan that teaches the basic skills of archery, safety rules of archery, terminology, and bow and arrow identification and uses. All equipment will be supplied. The session is suitable for those who have no experience or for those that may have shot before and need a refresher. Classes will be held from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. on April 6th and April 13th, and the fee is $15 per session. Rowlett Parks and Recreation is proud to once again host Kidfish. Community Park will be generously stocked with 500 pounds of adult catfish prior to the event, and prizes and trophies will be awarded to winners in 3 age divisions. This is a don't miss family morning at the park. Bring your rods and reel and bait. If you don't like touching the fish once you catch them, no problem. We'll have the weigh stations available where they will weigh the fish and remove them from the hook. Saturday, April the 20th from 9 a.m. until noon. This program is free. Calling all the future artists out there. No need to have any experience or creativity. Instructor Lynda will offer acrylic painting on April the 9th at 6 p.m. and April the 12th at 9:30 a.m. The focus is on learning to paint flowers using acrylics. During this 2-hour session, participants will go through a series of lessons for acrylic painting from beginning to end with tips on how to apply certain techniques. Everyone will leave with a finished product. The class is $35 per person. We are loading up the seniors and taking a trip. On April the 10th, Rowlett seniors will visit the Federal Reserve Bank of Dallas. The Economy in Action is a free exhibit at the Federal Reserve Bank. Through interactive exhibits and multimedia displays, seniors will learn about the Federal Reserve, money, and the economy. Please pre-register for this trip. The fee is $5 per person. It's that time again. The annual Senior Health Fair will be held Tuesday, April the 9th, 2013 from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the Rowlett Community Center. Free admission, free door prizes, free screenings. Visit with the vendors about their services, including home health care, retirement communities, doctors, pharmacists, and many more. Senior Health Fair is provided by the Senior Advisory Board of Rowlett in conjunction with the Rowlett Community Center. Rowlett Community Center's Child's Play instructor, Joan Radici, will offer Art Zone for our 3 to 5-year-olds on April the 13th and 27th. They will paint, create, squish, dab, mold, and doodle. Watch the creative genius pour out of your child as we create artwork using a variety of media. Each class will feature a new variety of projects. The classes meet 2 times a month on the 2nd and 4th Saturday of the month. The fee is $10 and the program requires pre-registration. Instructor Lynda will once again offer polymer clay jewelry on April 23rd at the Rowlett Community Center. Making jewelry with versatile polymer clay opens up a world of creative possibilities using common tools and household equipment. With little more than a sharp knife, some sandpaper, a pasta machine, and a toaster oven, you can make polymer clay jewelry that is as bold or as delicate as you like. Polymer clay, a great medium for the clay jewelry making, is not actually true clay, but a sculptable material called clay only because of its texture and working properties resembling those of mineral clay. As a jewelry artist, you can create beautifully detailed beads from polymer clay. Don't miss this fun opportunity. Class is held from 6 to 8 p.m. and Child's Play is available from 5 to 8 p.m. for just $3. The class fee is $35 and requires pre-registration. Registration is going on now for all programs at the Rowlett Community Center. You can stop by 5300 Main Street or give us a call at 972-412-6170 to get registered today. There is always something new and fun at the Rowlett Parks and Recreation Department. Be sure to check out the website for additional information.
You know, our next segment, I really enjoy it. It's our technology tip from the library presented by Phil Barrett. And I like it because it tells you all of the things that you need to know, that you don't know, that you need to know. He tells you.
It's actually one of my favorite segments, too. I have a lot of favorite segments. I'm a secret show watcher. I go back and I go, I didn't know that. But seriously, he really does. I love his technology tips, and I get a lot of feedback from the community that people say, you know, I didn't know I could do that. So Phil's going to be talking to us about internet browsers today.
You bet. And if you need hands-on help, you can always take a Tech Ed series class through the library, and it's free of charge. Your favorite, Mayor, free of charge.
Well, I like that. I think we should call it a Tech Phil series. How about that? Instead of a Tech Ed. But take it away, Phil.
Hi, I'm Phil Barrett, Tech Services Supervisor with the Rowlett Public Library. This month I'd like to talk about internet browsers. Browsers are the tools we use to navigate the internet. There are many different kinds depending on if you're using them on a PC, Mac, or cell phone. I'm going to discuss some similarities and differences of 3 of the more common browsers available for PCs: Internet Explorer, Firefox, and Chrome. There are some differences in each of these browsers. Internet Explorer was created by Microsoft. It comes standard on any machine that has some kind of Windows operating system installed. Internet Explorer used to have some issues with speed and security, but with the release of newer versions it has improved a lot. It strikes a balance between the other 2 browsers, not being quite as fast as Chrome and not having as many options as Firefox. Internet Explorer is good for people who just want a basic, easy-to-use browser. Since it comes standard on Windows computers, you don't even have to install anything to use it. The second is Mozilla Firefox. Firefox is an open source piece of software. It gives more customizability than Internet Explorer or Chrome, meaning that it's easier to change various settings. There are also more browser extensions available for Firefox, increasing the functionality of the software. Versions of Firefox are available for mobile devices. One neat feature of Firefox is the ability to sync, connecting all your versions of Firefox that are installed on different devices. Firefox, like Internet Explorer, is easy to use, but because it offers more customizability, it's good for people who want to tinker with their software a little bit and see what they can get it to do. The last browser I'd like to discuss is Google Chrome. Chrome is meant to be very lightweight and fast. It is easy to use and install, and subsequently vies with Internet Explorer for being the most popular browser. The trade-off is that it doesn't have all the options that Firefox and Internet Explorer do, so it can be frustrating if you want a bit more customizability with your browser. Since Chrome was created by Google, it can tie in with your Google Gmail account. This is useful if you have an Android phone, because then the browser you use on your phone can sync up with the browser on your home computer, including all your bookmarks, contacts, and internet history. I provided only a brief overview of the features of each of these browsers, along with some of their similarities and differences. If you're curious to learn more, stop by the Rowlett Public Library, or call and sign up for one of our one-on-one tech help sessions. Thank you.
And our next segment is Where Your Money Goes.
Woo! Today in
We
this
need an
month's...
echo on that one, right? No,
I bet Drew could help you with that. Today in this month's segment called Where Your Money Goes, some of the topics we're going to feature include sewer cleanout installation program and the water service line replacement.
All important parts of running a city.
Yes, it is. Stay tuned.
Where Your Money Goes.
Crews have already begun to use the new mini push camera to diagnose problems which arise in sewer lateral lines. This portable inspection camera has made the inspecting underground sewer lines much easier, saving lots of time and allowing crews to complete more work on a day-to-day basis. The Utilities Division will soon kick off a program to install property line cleanouts at every residence in the city. Most residents in Rowlett currently have a sewer cleanout close to their house, allowing access for the cleaning and inspection. The installation of property line cleanouts provides additional point of access for the city staff to utilize in the event of sewer backups and keeps us out of your flower beds. In the past, it was acceptable practice to use copper service lines to provide water to homes in Rowlett. As we have discovered over time, the copper becomes brittle and its integrity suffers as the soil it is in expands and contracts. Utility crews have begun to replace the aged copper lines with new, more durable poly pipe as they find leaks. The pipe is flexible and less affected by the surrounding soil, therefore limiting costly repairs and water loss. The submersible pumps used in the City of Rowlett sewer lift stations require annual preventative maintenance to ensure their continued operation and service. Previously, this service was contracted to the pump manufacturer. The pump and motor crew has taken over the responsibility, and all maintenance is performed in-house at substantial savings to the community. By performing their own maintenance, city crews can more closely monitor the pumps and assess their condition regularly.
Where your money goes. All right, this next segment is sort of the necessary evil. It's not my favorite topic in the world, but it's something I think it's very near and dear to everybody's heart and important about running a city.
Yes,
What?
it is. It's our monthly
true.
financial report.
They do such a great job, nothing ever happens. So they come up and they go, let me talk about the bonds, and the bonds have a rating of such a... I mean, it's all important information, don't get me wrong. I mean, it's critical to run a city, but they do such a great job.
Let me offer this to
Yes.
you, Mayor. It's excitement we don't ever want to talk about.
No, you're absolutely right.
Boring is good when you're talking about
But to my
financial
finance
statements.
friends, they look at it and go, this is really great stuff. To the average person, they go, okay, everything's okay, right? And they go, yes, it is, absolutely.
And that's the way we want to keep it. It's nice and boring every month.
And I will tell you, I got to hand it off to, of course, Brian Funderburk, our assistant city manager, and then
Alan Gard.
Alan Gard.
Financial Director of Financial Services.
What I like is they put everything in plain English. So it's
bet.
very, very easy to understand. You don't have to be an accountant or have some special degree to understand this. They put it in average terms that the average person can understand. And that I like.
And that is true. And so what we're going to hear this month is from our budget officer, Terry Doby, who's filling in for Alan Gard. But if you're interested in reading the full detailed report, it is available online at rowlett.com.
And so is our checkbook.
There you go.
Very transparent.
So stay tuned for Terry.
Hello, I am Terry Doby, the Budget Officer for the City of Rowlett. Welcome to this month's update of the City of Rowlett's monthly financial report. This report is provided as one element in the city's effort to ensure financial transparency for its citizens and policymakers. The Finance Department prepares the report and presents it to the City Council at a regular City Council meeting each month. While the presentation made at the Council meeting usually provides a high-level overview, the report itself is very detailed, providing information on each of the city's funds, key local, state, and national economic indicators, and dashboard information about the city's primary operating funds, major revenue sources, and overall fund performance. This report is prepared in a way as to provide financially relevant information that is easy to read and understand. Staff uses a forecasting model based on historical data in order to provide a framework for comparing projected performance to actual performance. The purpose of this effort is twofold. First, the report informs the City Council and public regarding the status of the city's financial position. In other words, where we are versus where we projected we would be at this point in the fiscal year. Second, this report informs the staff and City Council about significant variances in projected versus actual revenues and expenditures. This allows the Council to monitor the city's financial position and make adjustments as needed. This report also provides a context for making decisions appropriately for future budgets. You could say this report serves as an early warning system. The report provided to the Council at the beginning of March includes financial information through the end of January. We are now more than 1/3 through our fiscal year. On the revenue side of the equation, overall, the city has earned or received $37.5 million for all funds in FY 2013. This amount is 47% of the approved operating budget of $79.6 million and is 3.3% higher than the forecast projected through the month of January. Expenditures have totaled $20.7 million for FY 2013. This amount is 26.1% of the approved operating budget of $79.6 million and is 2.2% lower than forecast through the fourth month of the fiscal year. Based on these early figures, the net surplus from operations is $16.7 million. This is $1.7 million better than expected at this point in the year. The figures for January project a positive trend so far this fiscal year. This month, we want to highlight a major source of general fund revenue, the sales tax. Sales tax is an important indicator of financial health for the Rowlett community. Sales tax represents 14.6% of the total general fund revenue and is one of the top 3 sources of funding for general operations. The FY 2013 projection for sales tax is $4.8 million. Retail businesses collect sales tax and remit it to the State Comptroller's Office. The State Comptroller's Office then sends a check to the City of Rowlett for its share of the sales tax. Because of the time lag in the Comptroller collecting and then sending funds to Rowlett, there is a 60-day lag in reporting sales tax amounts. In Rowlett, the total sales tax is 8.25%. This rate includes the state share, which is 6.25%, with 1% going to the City of Rowlett and 1% going to Dallas Area Rapid Transit. Sales tax revenues are running 11.9% higher than projected through the month of December, with collections totaling $1,405,896. Because of the 60-day lag, the monthly report will always include an estimate for the current month, in this case January. If you would like to review the entire report, please go to www.rowlett.com. If you have any questions, please contact Alan Gard, the Director of Financial Services, at agard@rowlett.com or 972-412-6288.
Hi, my name is Carlton. I'm one of the code enforcement officers with the City of Rowlett. Today I will talk to you about high grass and weeds, one of the most common violations in the City of Rowlett. In the City of Rowlett, a property is in violation if the grass or weeds are 12 inches or taller throughout any portion of the yard or property. This violation is often overlooked, but be advised that vacant tracts must also maintain their properties under 12 inches or less. For more information on code enforcement, please go to rowlett.com, or you may contact the Community Service Division at 972-412-6283. Thank you for watching and educating yourself about your community.
Hi, my name is Diana Diaz. I am the Economic Development Specialist with the city, and today I will share the top 7 things you need to know about Rowlett. Number 1, population. Rowlett is home to 56,230 residents with a median age of 37. Number 2, in terms of income, the median household income is $83,000 with an average household income of $103,000. Compared to other smaller cities in the state, this is a great way to leverage our city with potential retailers. Number 3, housing. Rowlett has 18,000 households with a median value of $162,000. Number 4, the City of Rowlett 2013 general fund revenues total $32.7 million, where 62% of this comes from property and sales tax. Number 5, Rowlett has 24 parks on 600 acres or parkland. Number 6, in terms of transportation, first, we had the opening of President George Bush Turnpike, now links the eastern region of Texas to the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, and creates a great connection for residents and businesses. Second, after paying into the Dallas Area Rapid Transit Authority for 28 years, residents can now enjoy a downtown ride in less than 30 minutes, using the Dark Light Rail system, which opened in December of last year. These are major improvements that help us promote Rowlett, bring new businesses, and diversify our tax base with new investments. Number 7, $40 million in private investment in 2012. Some of the new businesses include Applebee's, Raising Cane's, Stonebridge Pet Hospital, Prefer Powder Coating, Link America, and CVS Pharmacy. These are things you need to know about Rowlett. We are working on creating a sense of place, diversifying our tax base for the residents, business community, and future generations.
And of course, with every show, we always talk about upcoming events.
You bet. Our council meetings and our planning and zoning meetings in April. Well, the council meetings are April 2nd and the 16th, and our planning and zoning meetings are April 9th and the 23rd.
And all meetings are broadcast live.
Yes, they are.
So in case you have nothing else better to do. No, seriously. But you can broadcast live on RTN 16 and online. You can go through streaming video page at rowlett.com. You can also watch all the previous meetings on rowlett.com anytime.
You know, and the important thing about the live streaming video on rowlett.com, if you don't want to watch the entire meeting and there is an item of specific interest, it gives you the flexibility to go directly to that item.
It does.
As well, as you said, to go back to the previous meetings if there's something of particular interest. So it's a huge resource to the community to be able to stay involved in their government on topics that are extraordinarily important to them.
Well, and all kidding aside, there are sometimes I'll go back and watch the council meeting again, or I'll go back and watch the P&Z meeting twice just because I missed something on there. And it's really good information that's there, and especially in a lot of cases helps me prepare for the council meetings as well. So,
you bet.
And our next event is an upcoming event that is very well attended every year, and it's our Senior Health Fair. It's on April 9th from 9 to 1, and the City of Rowlett Senior Advisory Board, in conjunction with the City of Rowlett Parks and Recreation Department, will host their annual Senior Health Fair at the Rowlett Community Center. That's Tuesday, April 9th from 9 to 1. There'll be over 30 vendors, free screenings and refreshments, and of course, lots of fun. All the vendors are geared towards senior issues and health care, and this is a free event. Really well attended last year, and I'm glad we have it back.
You bet. Our general election will be May 11th, 2013. The offices up for election include mayor and places 2, 4, and 6. To register to vote or to change your existing information, please complete a voter registration application on rowlett.com, then follow the instructions.
And the last day to register to vote, don't forget, is May 11th, or for the May 11th, 2013 general election is April 11th, 2013. So mark your calendars. If you're not registered to vote, do so by April 11th, otherwise you won't be able to participate in the election. And early voting, of course, Lynda,
is April 29th through May 7th. Voting times will vary, but on election day, which is May 11th, 2013, the times will be 7 a.m. to 7 p.m.
All right, let me comment on this for just a second, because our turnout is absolutely terrible on elections. And for those, and this is a very serious note on my part, if you're interested in what goes on and you're interested in electing the people, turn out to vote. It could not be any easier, especially with early voting. Where I came from in Philadelphia, we didn't have early voting. You literally would have to show up at election day. You stand in these extremely long lines. And early voting is such an awesome way because they're open really great hours. Literally, in most cases, no one's going to be there. So you walk in and you walk out, and you are exercising your right as a citizen in this community to choose your next city council.
You bet.
So we've got the upcoming annual writing contest presented by the Arts and Humanities Commission. That certainly is a wonderful event as well. Entries are due on Monday, April 29th. And so do you have a story inside of you that's just itching to get out?
Then here's your chance to prove you and your kids have what it takes. Enter the Arts and Humanities Writing Contest. The categories include short works, which are plays, essays, 15 to 30 minutes in length, short story, 1 to 3 pages double-spaced, or a poem, 1 to 2 pages double-spaced. The divisions include youth, grades 1 through 12, or adult 18 years or older.
And of course, we have awards too that will be given out. First place winners will receive a cash award, which is a check, which is presented at the Rowlett City Council meeting on Tuesday, June 18, 2013. And the awards will be $100 for each adult category and $50 for each youth category. All entries are due by Monday, April 29, 2013, and the entry should be mailed or dropped off to the Rowlett Public Library at 3900 Main Street.
So let's talk about future dates of interest and save the dates. This is when we'd ask you to get out a piece of paper and mark your calendar. The Wet Zone Water Park.
Thank you very much. I didn't have my goggles with me, so.
And this year we'll have swimming lessons, water fitness groups, junior lifeguard training, birthday parties, and cabana rentals. Special events throughout the summer.
And you know, I stopped at Big Lots last night. and they had a whole section of like little snorkels and goggles and the whole bit. It made me think of Wet Zone last night.
Absolutely.
So that's really great. But the water park, that's really important. Opens May 19th, and it is a lot of great opportunities. And birthday parties, Lynda, I know you talked about that. That is such a cool place to go for birthday parties. If you're thinking about that special place, you don't have to clean up. It's absolutely no mess. The kids have a great time, and it's extremely affordable. So I would give that a big plug, and it certainly makes it a lot of fun and a very memorable one. And another memorable event is Memorial Day ceremony in Touch a Truck. That's on May 25th from 10 to 1. It's 4000 Main Street. We shut down Main Street. It's at the City of Rowlett. It's on the side of the library in our Veterans Memorial Park. You can bring the entire family to downtown Rowlett to honor the fallen military heroes. And I'll tell you what, this is a very, very touching event. I love this. It's an opportunity to give thanks and to say thank you for your service. These men and women that served our country allow us to be able to go out and celebrate that day, because if it wasn't for the freedoms that we were given, we wouldn't have the ability to do that. And following that, and it's a great time to bring your kids. You know, there are a lot of times it's interesting when people think of Memorial Day, they think of going out and having a family barbecue. That's not what it's about. It's about taking an opportunity to honor those that have fallen. And so after that, to make it more fun, especially with the kids, it's a great way to get the kids there to watch the event. But then after that, we've got our Touch a Truck event and also a classic car show. So lots of things to do. You can tour all the different types of city vehicles, and it just makes another fun day.
You bet. And also, we want you to mark the calendar for Fireworks on Main, Thursday, July 4th, 2013.
Baby love. Babe, is that the right song?
That is
okay,
it.
Good. Just making sure.
From 5 p.m. to 10 p.m.
I'm not singing with her, by the way.
That's probably safe, Mayor. We're going to have Mary Wilson of the Supremes this year.
And not Todd Gottel. So Mary Wilson, she'll be a lot of fun.
She will be. There'll be live music, children entertainment area, vendor booths. So take the DART rail if you don't live in the city. And our fireworks will be at approximately 9:20 p.m.
This is going to be a lot of fun. I am really looking forward to this event. Mark the calendars. You know, it should be an outstanding, outstanding event. And I cannot believe they got Mary Wilson out there.
I know.
This will be really fun. And I know we're going to have some radio personalities here as well. So just something for everybody. And it really is truly a family event.
You bet.
So it's another end of the show.
Yes, it is.
It's sad, isn't it?
It doesn't take
I could
long,
go on for another hour. Whatever. She's like, but we hope you've enjoyed today's show. Next month, in honor of Memorial Day, we're going to feature some of our unsung heroes in Rowlett. And we're going to have a preview of the summer calendar of events. Thanks to all of you who stayed tuned to the program today to stay in touch with your government. You know, we'd love to hear from you. Please email us or call us with your suggestions or concerns and let us know what you think about the show's new look. Not about me, please, just the show's new look. But I really seriously want to take an opportunity to thank Drew Rist and Denise Perrin with our communication staff. They've just done an outstanding job, as they do every single month, in putting this format and program together. So until next time, thanks for watching the April edition of Rowlett on the Water on the Move.